If you've been investing in crypto for any number of years, then you'll know that there are times when the prices go parabolic. There was a huge run in 2017 where prices quadrupled in a matter of months. And then most recent, a huge run that happened in 2021, where again prices tripled in just 1 year. Now, unfortunately, crypto over the last year has been a bit frustrating, as it's been bouncing between this 30 to 50,000 range for quite some time. So the big questions for me right now are, is there going to be another huge run in crypto? And if so, when? Well, looking at the developments just over last year, we have all the investment banks, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, all now getting involved. We have the investing titans, Blackrock, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, all now getting involved. And then we just had all the big announcements from Bitcoin 2022, which I covered last week. So to me, this all says there will be another big run coming. So the question is, when? Well, this all ties into what this video is all about and what I think and Kevin O'Leary believes is the opportunity of a lifetime. So we'll be looking at regulation in the US, with the news that the next big Bitcoin ETF is about to go live in Australia next week. It's even more important that the US gets involved or gets left behind. Then what will be the actual impact of this US regulation? Could it in fact crash prices or stifle innovation or be the catalyst for the next big boom? And we'll take a look at what's happened in other markets when regulation was introduced. And then we'll finish up with Kevin O'Leary stating why he believes this is the opportunity of a lifetime. As always, if you do enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like. Always appreciated. Okay, first up, having maxed out his crypto allocation, Kevin O'Leary is following US regulatory developments very closely. And here are the latest updates. Let's do this.
I'm very confident because the pace and acceleration of policy proposals coming out of bipartisan Senate committees on the Hill has never been greater. We've got the Loomis bill, we have the Haggerty bill for stablecoin, the Toomey bill for stablecoin, we have the POTUS executive order, all within 6 weeks of each other, all discussing the future of cryptocurrencies. And you're right, we need to catch up with the rest of the world here because regulators in other jurisdictions like Canada, the first to allow a Bitcoin ETF and Ethereum ETF, the first crypto exchange dealer broker was licensed there across the country. Switzerland, England, United Arab Emirates, they're far advanced. And I think our government understands now that we've got to catch up quickly. And you saw a major move just yesterday in the announcement of Blackrock and Fidelity putting $400 million into USDC, the Circle product. That's unprecedented for such staid financial services companies to make a bet that large on cryptocurrency.
So the pace and acceleration of policy is increasing. We've had the president's executive order, the Loomis bill, and the Haggerty bill all within 6 weeks of each other. And the US does need to get a move on, especially after the most recent news that Australia is the next big country to be launching a Bitcoin ETF starting next week. Surely the people in the US and the UK no longer need to be, as the SEC says, protected. And then in other news, we just had BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager, putting a stamp of approval on stablecoins by helping USDC's Circle raise $400 million as the investing titan gets more involved in crypto. Okay, next up, you might be wondering, could US regulation actually be negative and even tank the crypto market? Well, a few months ago, I did cover a speech by Wolf of Wall Street's Jordan Belfort, as he's worked in the investing environment for decades, right on the front line, and he has seen this before. And although I did show this a few months ago, the message is critically important and very relevant to where we are right now. So, check it out.
So every time the government regulates something, an asset, it doesn't go down in value. It goes up massively in value. Case in point, when I was first getting down to Wall Street in the late 80s, it was junk bonds. And when junk bonds finally became regular, everyone's like, oh, that's it. It's over. The party's over. The government's regulating junk bonds. Sell your junk. Guess what happened? The market went up 100-fold. 100-fold. Why? Because once the regulations are in place, institutional money will pour into an asset class. Right now, the amount of institutional money, yeah, they've started to adopt, but it's nothing. When institutional money really starts to pour into Bitcoin, and I believe they will, because they're going to have to, once regulations are in place, they're going to have to, they almost have a fiduciary responsibility to at least have some small portion in Bitcoin. And that small portion should be enough to move the market dramatically higher, because the single greatest case for the appreciation of Bitcoin, which in my mind is not currency, and I think the sooner you realize that it's not currency, it's not designed to be currency, it doesn't function like a currency, it's property, it's an asset. When the regulatory landscape is fully formed and all the institutions around the world start putting some amount, where do you think the price of Bitcoin's going? It's probably going higher. On Wall Street, there's an old saying, institutional money is usually smart money. And even when it's not, it's enough to fuel the market anyway.
So he says every time regulation has been introduced, it has always increased the prices dramatically. And he mentioned about when junk bonds first got regulated, they didn't just go up, they went up 100-fold. So here is the opportunity of a lifetime as I see it. By investing in crypto, you're essentially taking a risk because it's pre-regulation. And so there is still some uncertainty, but that is why there's still a big opportunity. But once the regulation is fully in place in Europe, UK, and US, then the market will already be 2, 3, 5 times higher than it is today. So the opportunity of a lifetime is investing pre-regulation. Think about it. How many times in history has a brand new asset class opened up to investors who can front run the institutions? Maybe about once in 100 years. So that's how I would word it. Let's now finish up with how Kevin O'Leary sees it.
All of these are software development teams creating innovation in financial services, the largest market in the world. And to the extent that they can add value, transparency, speed, all of that, that's why it has such potential, and it hasn't gone away. Now, sure, the prices are volatile, and the reason the prices are volatile is that sovereign funds and pension plans, for all the excitement about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, own this much of it. Nothing. And they're not going to do that until there's policy in place. You want price stability, you want price appreciation, allow a sovereign running a $200 billion mandate, a 1% position in Bitcoin. That's how you get there. But they're not going to do it until there's policy in place. I really believe that crypto will be the 12th sector of the S&P in 10 years. So I'm going to invest accordingly. It's now 20% of my operating company's portfolio across 32 different positions. I'm very comfortable with my diversity. And yes, there's volatility, but I'm essentially waiting for the government. I want to be ahead of the curve. I want to own Bitcoin before the sovereign wealth funds buy it. And that's my bet. Now, everybody else has a different opinion. That's fine. But clearly, on the first day at Bitcoin 2022, when I made that keynote on the Wednesday, that was 1,500 institutional investors. That's the first time that's ever happened. Now, they own nothing, but they've come to learn. And that's the first step. And then you've got all the policy coming our way. But this is a different time, because how many times in your investment career do you get an opportunity to invest in a brand new sector of the S&P? Never. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Now, either you believe that or you don't. You have to make your decision. But once you say yes to crypto, you need diversification, you need policy, and you have to have a team that understands it. We don't have the compliance infrastructure yet, but that's coming. Look at the work that's going on at Circle to make it really easy for institutions to use USDC on a compliant basis. Look at FTX. That's a really investment-grade compliant platform. Now, I have to disclose I'm a shareholder in FTX and a paid spokesperson, but I use the product. I don't endorse anything I don't use.
In crypto's history, there are times when the crypto market goes parabolic, which is a great time for anyone already invested. I believe it's only a matter of time until the next big move is upon us, and it'll probably be caused by regulation being put into place. Wolf of Wall Street's Jordan Belfort points out that historically, regulation has been excellent for financial markets, and mentioned about when junk bonds got regulated, it went up 100-fold, and he believes the same will happen for crypto. And Kevin O'Leary has maxed out his crypto allocation, buying in before the big monster whales, being the sovereign wealth funds. Now, will this take days or weeks? Probably not. Months? Maybe, but a year or two almost certainly, so some patience will be required. And because this is pre-regulation, there is still some risk involved, but that's why there is an opportunity. In a few years from now, when the regulation is in place, the risk will be very small, but so will be the future gains. So there you are, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Now, does anyone think that crypto can still completely disappear, or has that time now passed? Let me know below. But for now, just to say, if you did enjoy anything in the video, then drop a like, and a big thank you to everyone who does. If you haven't yet subscribed, click below and join us. Got some great videos coming up that you don't want to miss. Okay, cheers guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.